Okay. I do think I'm live. This camera's out of focus. Okay, so this is part 2. Right, I think I'm now ready to. Let's get some light. I'm now ready to install the hardware. Let's apply some power. Go boot up. Okay, so here we are, guys. We've got, let me just get the other camera on. Right, so we'll put the face cam on this screen, and now this is this PC. So we're now in the BIOS of this system. I've got a reflection here. Oh, it's a green light on there. Right, so I'm in the BIOS of this system. Bit of latency on this. I'll just move this onto this. There we go. That's a bit better. If I'm not correct, BIOS and UEFI system by F16. F16 is the latest BIOS, so the BIOS is bang up to date. Okay. I'm looking for miscellaneous setting. 3D mark, enhancement. I'll leave that disabled for the moment. System, BIOS date 21, yeah, that's the last BIOS. I'll double check, but I'm sure that's the last BIOS. BIOS, that's boot speed. Security option. Trusted computing. TPM2. Okay, so it has got it. Right, so this will be able to run Windows 11. This will be able to, right, so let's get out of that and exit, and then what I'm going to do is, I want to check advanced memory setting to 66. Okay, memory channels, timings, auto, okay, system, BIOS version. Okay, roles, initial display output piece, onboard LAN controllers, Intel trusted platform. As you can see at the moment, it's enabled. That's okay. I'm not selling on network yet. Right. Chipset. I think the batteries maybe. Let me just change out the battery in this. I think it might be a bit. Yeah, but I don't know why. So I do think to be a little bit under duress these batteries. Next one down. Right, I'm just changing out the battery in the mouse. I do believe it's in need of changing. I do believe it's a little bit. Okay. Got in the BIOS, it is a bit slow. I think we're better off using the keys, using the arrow keys. Okay, so now I'm going to get my Windows 10 installation media. Oh. Oh, it's come back into the BIOS because there's no boot media. Windows 10. So the Windows 10 disk. Let's just. Yeah, it's come back into the BIOS because I don't have a advanced review setting right. So let's see. Advanced memory setting. Miscellaneous setting. Auto 3D auto. Right. Yeah, I'm easier using the. Let's go over to system information. English. BIOS. 12 for the 3rd, yeah. System time. 1754. March 2021, but the system time is 2021. What is that? System time. What is that? That's weird. 22, 21, 22, 22, 22, 22. It's going to be 23 actually. Yeah. Okay. BIOS, security options system. Fast boot. I keep fast boot disabled for now. Peripherals. NVMe configuration. NVMe, okay, so it's got it. Okay. So what I want to do is go over to, right, I'm save and exit cell. Okay, now with a bit of luck now, it should try and find the boot media. We'll see. It should try and find the boot media. There we go. It's found it. There we go. And now we can get this set up. So now we're getting Windows installed. So English United Kingdom, the board, English United Kingdom, everything there. Next, Windows install now. I do not have a product key. Well, I actually have got a product key, but I'm not going to put it in yet. And it's for Windows Pro. You've got to accept the license terms. You can't give it a miss. We're doing a custom install of Windows, and there it's showing 1 terabyte NVMe's. Now, so we'll click next. Are we hanging? Oh. Right, so this is quite quick, as you can see. Just getting the files ready. And what I want to do, I'm a little bit meh because where are they? That's really frustrating. That is really frustrating. That is really frustrating because I know I've got them. Right, well that's untrue. No, I put them somewhere. I did put them somewhere. It's okay, guys. I'm just a little bit miffed because I've got two timers. Now I can't find either one. Oh, moving along nicely. I wanted to time how long this. Did I put some up? I know I put things in weird places. Timers that I use. Now I'll put them somewhere and can't find them. That's because I've just recently done the office. That is unbelievable. That is unbelievable. Okay, we'll carry on. Why is this? Yeah, there we go, that's better. United Kingdom, yes. Is the keyboard layout right? United Kingdom, yes. I didn't know, skip that. I do not have internet. It's going to tell me continue with limited setup. It's going to tell me that if I'm going to discover more if I have internet. But all that's trying to do is to try to force you to create a Microsoft account. Number one, I'm not going to put my Microsoft account on a customer's machine. And number two, I don't have access to my customer's Microsoft account if they have one. So I'm going to continue with limited setup. And this limited setup is not actually limited. You get the full setup, but that's just trying to get you to connect to the internet. If the customer's got a Microsoft account, she can put that on the, you know, they can put it on themselves later. So why is this thing playing up? This mouse is really giving me a hard time. I'm gonna I'm going to try it on one of the front, or another front panel. Maybe it's having an issue. Continuing limited set. Maybe it's having an issue because I had it in the USB 3 point and it's actually 2.4 giga. I know. I'll leave the client to put their own password on. Let Acromat no to that. It's no to everything except for location. You see, I'm saying no to everything because all these are just spyware. Let Katana, no, not now. If they want Katana, they can do Katana. Now you see how quick this thing's moving along. And I can't believe I can't find my timers. I've got 2 timers, and now I can't find a one. I'll find them after I've done this. It's always the way. This rubber just to go out. So, as you can see, things are moving along here. I wanted to put my timer on it. I wanted to do the timer for you guys. In fact, I had the small one out. Oh, where's the small one gone? Almost there. You can see how quick this is. Okay, so now it's saying let's get started. Maybe later. Now what I'm going to do, let me just move this down here. I like to have my things down here. I don't see the point in having the Microsoft Edge logo there and then a shortcut there, so I always take those off because they take up space. Right, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to find myself a little Ethernet patch cable and I'm going to patch up and get all the latest updates. Just bear with me a second. I had all these ready before, but when I had problems, I moved a lot of things around. When I had problems trying to connect to the net, this is the customer's actual power cable or power supplies. So I had a few. I've got an Ethernet cable around here somewhere. In fact, I just had one the other day, yesterday. Sorry, I'm tuning to myself. I'm just having. I just hate when things start going pear-shaped. I had everything all organised. Something throws me out, and then everything is like all over the place, and it isn't all over the place. It is actually organised, but because I've got so limited room. Right, wait a second, I'm just looking for an Ethernet cable. I'll use this this tall. I didn't really want to use this tall one, but it's a long one. I didn't really want to use this because I've got a shorter one somewhere, but in the interest of time, and moving things along, I'll use this. This is a crazy situation finding myself in. What's baffling is where there was sorry for the delay. Ethernet cables, of them, the moment you want them, they disappear. I'll put more Ethernet. Okay. Yeah, I'll go with that because it's already undone, isn't it? It's already unpackaged. I'm not going to unpackage too. Okay, I'm just talking to myself, lads. Don't worry. I'm not losing the plot. Well, I am. Right, what's going to happen now is I'm going to actually connect up. I'm about to connect up my Ethernet. And what you'll see is that immediately Microsoft will try and get me to want to create an account, but also immediately in the background it'll start downloading updates. Now this is a more recent version of Windows Installer, so the updates shouldn't be that many. It's going to be from when I created the media, which was only a few days ago, but obviously more or less every day updates are being released. So obviously there will be a couple of updates missed and any major patches, but it's got all the main patches in. So, and while it's doing the update, I'll see if I can find my timer. Simply because I want to see how fast this thing boots up now. When it's got all its updates and everything. The activation of Windows I'll actually do offline because I won't give away the customer's key. cable in, and now I'm about to stick it in the back of my. Okay. And there you are, see? Just detected the network. I just want to say, do you want this PC to be discoverable? Recommend no, I'm going to say no for now. As you can see now, we've got our TV set, it's got network access, and you see how the activity light's going. Well, believe it or not, I may not have clicked updates and security, but this is now downloading updates. I'm going to go into the control panel and click up the settings panel and click updates and security. You'll actually see that it is actually installing updates. Now also you notice now that volume mixer, there's nothing working on it at the moment. That's because the updates will be applied and then later on that will kick in. So even though I'm not clicking anything, it's actually updating. So we'll go into the settings now and we'll see. So we're going to settings, update security, and as you can see, I don't want to check that at the moment because I know TPM is there. It will run it. It'll be able to run it, but I don't want to do that. I want Windows 10. So as you can see there, it's just set on my keyboard. Nobody's available. What it is, let's check, and you'll see a load of updates will come up. There you go. Now you shouldn't worry about that red cross when you get that first initial thing. That's probably because it was done too quick, because it was probably doing something else in the background, so it caused a conflict. But as you can see, there's a few updates, not that great many, because I say this is a recent installation. When Microsoft do their major updates, I do a new version of the media creation tool, which has got all the latest updates on it. So all the updates that I'm missing are just for the last few days since I've done this update. That's why there's not a lot. Normally you see a load of updates running all the way down. You know, that depend on how old that will depend on how old your media installation drive is. As I say, this is a fairly recent one. I've only done the I don't even think it's probably just over a week old. That's it. This installation flash drive, and that's what you should do if you create a media flash drive, a media creation flash drive. Is when Microsoft do the major updates to your PCs that go out, you should actually go to the website and recreate your flash drive, clean it off, and recreate a new install, and that'll give you all the latest updates. And then all the updates you were missing are from the dates from when you create it to when you next use it. So if it's only 2 or 3 days, you only have 2 or 3 days updates to do. And that's why there's not such a long list as what you normally see. There is some cumulative updates though. See, you've got Microsoft Defender, cumulative updates of Windows 10 to H1 for the Net framework. Those are fairly big updates. The Intel covering the display and obviously for the processor. And now you see you see that flashing and going off. Now you see how the screens change. That's because it's just induced drivers for the Intel drivers on the chip. That's why it's just flash. So now you've got better screen resolution. Now it says a restart required. If you see, it says restart required, but if you look here, it's still slightly downloading this cumulative update. Then it should actually install it and then I'll restart. So it won't restart just quite yet because it's actually still busy. That's why I like systems with hard drive activity LED, power LED if it's got it. Yeah, so you got your power LED, which is in your button here, that's your main power button. Then you've got hard drive activity LED. So I like to see that. So that's what's going on. Yeah, so that's the screen there. This screen there you can see, which is on this system, which is currently working. See how it's installing, even though it says a restart required up there. You see how I left it and that was downloading, now it's actually installing, it's 21% install. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let that totally install before I actually restart it. So it's always good to read your screen messages and not just jump in. Yeah, so we're currently 45%. We're currently 45% of installing the Windows 10 cumulative updates for the 20H2. Now I've just checked my YouTube stream, the YouTube studio, and I've noticed that it's been a delay. Even though I've been streaming through OBS, it's took quite a while to come through to you. So you're not actually. So we're currently 45%. So you've missed nearly 40 minutes of this stream. So you missed me setting this up, installing Windows, which I'm in the process of now. But I'm getting all the updates. go. It's installed. Now it's just pending a restart. So let me go ahead and restart that. Now what we have to do next is, there we go, and that's the next boot. It's going to do its thing. Then after this we have to install the Wi-Fi Bluetooth card. So now we're back in the Windows desktop. We'll go through this process again, and it says you're up to date, but what we'll do, we'll check for updates again. Now you see how quick the updates basically have taken, simply because my installation media is fairly new. So all I had was a couple of days of updates to install. A couple more here, which is basically for Windows Defender, antivirus malware. So it's 4.18.201.10. No, it's actually the same one. This one is status pending install, and this one's status installing. Yeah, there you go. And there's some optional updates, but I'll wait till this update's finished before I select my optional updates. I don't want to overburden the system with too many updates all at once, because then that in itself can, cause a few issues. The idea is to have a smoother installation as possible. Still a bit peeved of where my just weird. Absolutely weird. It's the weirdest thing I've ever encountered. Besides myself. Obviously I've gone somewhere. about that. No, there's no denying that. I could have swore. I had them in this facility. I'm not putting in any of these, have I? Oh, see how quick this thing is. So we're going to see, look, checking for updates again. Now I'm afraid you can't see, the screen is a bit, even though you've seen on the screen, it's a bit too bright. The light is reflecting into the camera, so it's like having a mirror pointing at it. So you can't see, but I'm just checking for updates, right? Driver updates, and it's for the Intel system. And we'll check for any updates, see if there's any. And there we go, that's all the updates done. Now what we've got to do is to install our Wi-Fi card. Now this is going to be fun, so I'm going to power off the system, so just by pressing, there you go, look how quick that was. Right? Look how rapid that was. I'm going to turn off the power at the power supply. Okay. Now, I've got to decide which slot I want it in. So, let me get you closer. So, which one am I using? Get a bit of light on the subject of the other camera. Okay, so let's get you back on this one. There you go, got a bit of light. So this is what I'm installing now. This is what I'm going to place in now. This is the Wi-Fi adapter card. There's the antennas. That's so we can go the USB ports of Bluetooth, and I don't think I've got a spare USB port on here, have I? TPM. Yeah, I've got a USB on there, USB 3.0. Okay, low profile bracket. So if you're using like something like an ITX form factor case, low profile. There's low profile bracket. The bracket on this one will suffice. Here it is itself. Wi-Fi. So that bit will plug into that, and that plugs into a USB on the thing. And then your two aerial connects into the back. Now what I'll do is I'll put this card in, but I won't actually connect up these aerial. I'll give it to the customer, or I'll test them out, but I'll give it to the customer to actually put on myself. So now I'm going to take out a PCI slot and insert this bracket. Now I'm going to try and get a bit closer. Let me just check. Oh yes, there's a stream there now. Let me just check. Me YouTube stream, it's on, but I do apologise for those of you joining on YouTube. When you're joining the stream, over 50 minutes had gone on the stream. For some unknown reason, it said gone live. It said it'd gone live. It went live on OBS. It said it had gone live on YouTube, but then when I checked on the other screen, because normally I would check on that. Normally I'd have that screen monitoring the YouTube, and this stream is my OBS, as you can see here. That would be on the YouTube, but I'm using that for this at the moment, simply because I didn't want to get an old monitor out from across the room, which only had VGA on it, and I didn't want to mess about, so it was just as easy to use that monitor. But when I actually flicked over onto the YouTube tab, the live stream tab, it was still showing the startup screen. It hadn't gone live, but now it's live. So I do apologise for those of you that have missed. YouTube's really giving me a lot of grief lately. But anyway, that aside, we're going now. So this is the second. If you're not aware of it, this is the second part of that PC that I started before. This is that upgrade to that HP. I've done it, but I had to pause the stream because something cropped up that needed my immediate attention, and I couldn't leave it. Right, so now I have to dig out my screwdrivers again, because obviously I put them away when I went downstairs when I was doing something. In fact, I actually used them downstairs. So back to my screwdrivers. Found them. I wish I could find my. Was it as easy? Right, I'm just working out which slot I'm going to put it in, and I think that one. We've actually got a graphics card, haven't we? So what's this one? A PC times what? Okay, so that one's going to go there. Okay, so that one's going to go there. Right. Okay. Wrong, that was a screw. Don't want the screw dropping. Right, so in goes my card. I need to connect this wire in here first, simply because I'm going to be using one of the USB ports up there. That's audio. Front USB. No, it's not even going to be able to use that. Because I don't have another USB. It's got two missing pins there. It's like that. Ooh, so I've only got one USB. That's a TPM. Don't have another. You got USB 2, 3, but it's not got another USB on there. Okay, so I have to get the Bluetooth and this, but we can obviously use the Wi-Fi. There we go, Wi-Fi in. Come back full circle, that, wasn't it? Okay, Wi-Fi's on. This can save for another board. Okay, now I'm going to put I'm actually going to put the antennas on for now, because I want to test it, and then what I'm going to do is put the power back on and power this sucker back up. See what it detects or don't detect. Who's here? It's really there. So let's go in the device manager. Now you see that I've actually got my audio on. What I'm looking for here is there we go. Wi-Fi is on. So if I disconnect this, yeah, you got to connect to it. Okay, so I really want to know where my thing is. There you go, it's connected. There you are, it's connected. So now I've got Wi-Fi, so the Wi-Fi works. Okay, the Wi-Fi works, so there you go, there's Wi-Fi. So if I go out onto the net, signing signal data. So right, okay. Sorry, I've drifted off slightly there. Do apologise. What I'm doing now, I've just set up the Wi-Fi adapter, put it in, so I've just checked it. Wi-Fi is connected. I'm just enabling some safety protocols. Like I say, because you can't see the screen anyway. It's too bright. It's glaring into the camera. So that's what I'm actually doing. I'm just setting up some safety protocols. Yeah, I'm just setting up some protocol. I'm just setting up some safety protocols, and I'm gonna show. Where's the home button? Show home button. Right. Show home button. There it is. Home button is on, and now anything else I'll leave for the customer to decide what they want to put on. It's totally up to them. I can't customize this for them. I can't customize it too much yet anyway, because I've got to activate Windows, but I say I won't be doing that online. Yeah, so you can't. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm just I can't put on pretty, that's all theirs. So there's a few things they're going to have to do themselves. That's what to do with each download. No. Google, thank you. going to disconnect my Wi-Fi. And it is. Right, okay, so I've just now took my Wi-Fi connections out. So this belongs to the customer, so needs to put that, screw those onto, I'm not going to transport it with the antennas in. Wow, this thing is quiet. This thing is so quiet. This customer's going to be so happy with this. Or at least I hope they are. They should be. It is so quiet, so quick. I'm just sorry I couldn't find my timers guy. I wanted to put the timer up on it and show you how quick it booted up and that. So that's it. So the Wi-Fi adapter's in. Systems all go. So what I'm going to do now is clear that. I'm going to do one last. Oh no, I'm not finished yet. I need to take out my. boot media. Then I also need to run my optimizer on it. I need to run my optimizer disk on it, and optimize a few things. It should be with. Here's an optimizer, I think. Yep. Optimizer. So I'll clip this into the front USB. And that's good because now we see that the front USBs actually work as well as the rear ones. The rear ones are the faster USBs, they're the 2.0, whatever they are. And I'm now going to run so and I also want to run Cinebench. What is about them? And now it's going to optimize the system for me. It's going to turn off a lot of all the spyware stuff that Microsoft has running in the background that you don't see. So restart now, yes, restarting. You actually want to see my computer icon like the old Windows 7 or the Windows XP icon where you see a my computer icon at the top. And basically it lays it out into a format that you're all familiar with before. There you see this PC. Yeah. Home there, and then you get that to see. This is ASENNO, so I'm going to rename this drive, and it's called ASENNO 1 terabyte. That's the drive. I'll name it that so you know straight away, so you know ASENNO 1 terabyte. Okay. That's the system basically completed. So all I've got, I have ordered a fan, let you know, I have ordered a fan at the back. It's awfully quite cool, but because I've got the adapter card though that produces no heat whatsoever, I'd just like to have an exhaust fan, because the CPU, although it's quite cool at the moment, there's nothing there. If you do so like any kind of stressful work and the CPU cranks up, that it will generate heat. This is quite capable of coping with the heat, but what it's doing is just removing the heat from the CPU. We actually want that heat out the case, exiting the case via a rear fan here. So I'm going to put a rear fan. We don't need a front fan because we haven't got a graphics card, and we don't want to add any more noise and any more power consumption. The fan that I've got is a PWM fan, So it's not just a 3-pin fan, it is a PWM fan, and we have got a PWM fan case connector up there, so I'll be using that. When that comes, I'll be dropping that in. So for all intents and purposes, this system's now ready. The installation was a bit sketchy, just simply because I just, in my streamer, I've got a Elgato capture card which has got 4 HDMI ports on it, and in future when I get that set up, because I'm going to, the streamer, I did mention a few weeks back, a couple of months back, that I'm going to actually put it into another case. And when I put it into another case, I'll be putting that Elgato capture card into it, and that will enable me to capture what's happening on the PC that I'm working on. So like in this, where you like seeing that a monitor over there, which you cannot see anything because the glare of the monitor reflects into the camera, so it actually nullifies it. You'll be actually seeing it as if though you were looking at the PC itself. Yeah, you were actually on the PC. So hopefully that'll be up and running, but that won't happen until I change out my streaming into a new case. I don't know what I'm going to do with this case. Now, I do have another one of these systems. This is a client, but we'll have another one of these systems. Different case, of course, not this case. I think it's an A1. It's an A1 gaming case. The next case I'm going to be using. Exactly the same motherboard, exactly the same processor, exactly the same RAM. Yeah, exactly the same RAM, I think. Let me just double check. Yeah, the RAM is, yeah. And that will be for sale. Exactly the same power supply. It's exactly the same, except for maybe the M.2. Might put a Samsung EVGA on that one. And it won't be, and it will not be coming with a Wi-Fi card, unless anybody who wants to buy it requests one. But obviously they'll have to add that to the price. So this is my client's PC now ready. So this is an answer to replace that HP that died. So if you haven't seen that video, go and have a look at it, guys. Please subscribe to the channel. Please give a like. Practice makes perfect. I'm still getting my head around OBS and on YouTube, because basically what happens is you press go live in OBS, but it's actually connected to my YouTube, and it then supposed to communicate with YouTube and tell YouTube, oh, he's going live, and then go live. But I'm finding that I'm having to go into YouTube and then say go live as well. But then what's happening is they're both not communicating with each other. It's like they're counteracting each other, because they're saying, well, which one of you is going live, YouTube or OBS? And eventually it connects, but sometimes I have to sort of like go through the configuration again. So actually going live at a time, it can be quite frustrating, because you click go live. I mean, this afternoon I actually went live 15 minutes before I actually started, and it still didn't start on time. I had to go through the whole configuration again. So OBS has just been a bit problematic. Well, not OBS, YouTube, just been a bit problematic in its streaming. So I do apologise for some of the stream delays. I'm still trying to work my way around it. I'm not on the sort of like paid account of YouTube. You know, YouTube, they have a subscription where you can pay subscription monthly. Well, my channel's not big enough for that yet. Until it gets bigger, it's like a free one. But obviously you'll put the bottom of the list when it comes to going live and that, because they want people only with subscriptions that subscribe. But never mind, we'll work through it. Anyway, that's it. The system's now more or less complete, except wait for that fan. That fan should be here Tuesday, and once that's here, I'll drop that in, and then I'll drop the system round to the client. But for all intents and purposes now, this is more or less ready. The only thing I've got to do now is I'm going to activate Windows, but like I say, I'm not going to do that on screen for obvious reason. I know what some of you guys are like. Okay, so that's it. I'm out, and until the next time, I'll see you.